Yo, what's up? I'm Jay. OCs. Man, do I love them. Ever since I've been creating my own OCs, I have genuinely found so much interest in every single thing about them. Like the story, the lore, the characters, the character art, the character design. OCs are a heavy part of what my art is based off of. And they're also a heavy part in the art community. I feel like if you were to ask a lot of artists that are in the art community if they have OCs, majority would be yes. A lot of people just like creating their own characters, like creating art of their own characters, like showing it to people, like sharing their lore, sharing their ideas. It's a big community that relies in the art community. I think one of the main things I really enjoy about original characters is just how unique they are. Everybody has different OCs. No matter if I might be listening to your OC lore or look at your character and be like, this reminds me of another character. It reminds me of them, but it isn't that character. There will always be a difference every single time. Whether it be the hair color of your OC, whether it be where this story is taking place, whether it be the genre, whether it be the characters, there's always something that separates an OC from another. Every time. Even if it's something as small as a name. And I love it. I love everything about just the uniqueness. I love everything about how when you listen to somebody's OC lore or you look at somebody's characters, you can tell what type of person they are, or you can tell what type of genre they really like. You can tell what a person's interests are if you look at their characters. And as much as the art community loves OCs and loves the uniqueness about them, I've been starting to notice a lot of people hating on OCs and hating everything that makes them unique. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about OCs on my FYP recently. It started off very nice. It started off with people just giving you nice and little good critiques about how to write OCs and how to make their lore more advanced and how to give them good character depth and character growth or how to design them better. It started off really genuine and good critiques that I actually use for my own OCs. Because as much as I do love it, I honestly know I am lacking in so many spaces. But this good advice started becoming more than just good advice. It started to genuinely become hateful and negative about a lot of people's OCs. I'm not saying you can't like people's OCs, because there are some OC tropes and some characters' designs that I don't like myself. But that's it. I just don't like them. But regardless, if I hear about your story, it's still unique and I still will love it. But I've been noticing it's just more than advice. It's now become, if you don't write your OCs how I want them to be written, then your OCs are boring and disgusting and a complete waste of my time. And that's where I realized, okay, this is getting out of hand. I've got to make a video about this. Making OCs is harder than a lot of people think. The writing that goes into it, the lore that you have to create for it, the character design you have to make for it. Making OCs is hard. So whenever I see somebody hating on OCs and hating on OC tropes, it makes me just a little bit mad. But there's a couple OC tropes that I've been seeing a bunch of hate for. High school OCs, band OCs, too powerful OCs, and any OC that's based in the real world, which is insane to me, but we'll get to that one later. Now, I understand where the high school and band OC hate comes from. I don't get it, but I understand where it comes from. There are so many dramas, there are so many rom-coms, there are so many movies and shows based off of that alone that people think it's boring. People think it's genuinely boring to write about high school life and to write about bands because there's too many of them and you're not being unique enough, which is completely stupid to me. So many people don't realize that when people make OCs and make OC lore, some of that or most of that is based on the artists themselves. People who make band OCs are probably basing it off of a band they really liked, or a band that they were in, or a band that they just wanted to be in. And I never get the hate for hating on band OCs because that's a barely eligible trope for you to hate on. Like, this band can be from space on Mars, or this band can be from the darkest pits of hell. This band can be from anywhere. So you just hating on this one stereotype of, band OCs always go the same. Just shut up, dude. And people who hate on high school OCs. What are we doing? I genuinely really like high school OCs because, well, I'm in high school. I'm a teenager. And hearing, reading, watching stories about OCs that go through the same struggles as me, like insecurities and bullying. I really love it. I honestly really enjoy it. And people who hate on high school OCs because they've either gotten a bad vibe from people who write about them or it's too boring to write about, you're just being dense, I fear. And this can kind of be the same for OCs based on the real world and in real life. I love stories like that. As much as my OC lore completely delves from it, I still really like it and really enjoy it. As much as I do really like fantasy and OCs that are built on a different world and built on different culture, there is something about just wanting to watch a show or wanting to watch a movie that brings me back to reality, that resonates with me and probably resonates with you. Struggles that I go through, struggles that you go through, happy moments, sad moments that I can experience in real life or I already have. The hate that comes with having OCs that are based in this world is insane to me. Like, what? Then there's the hate for overpowerful OCs. I used to be like this. I used to hate OC lore that made the character too powerful, because what I do like about stories and people's characters is being on edge. I want them to get into a fight and having to struggle who's gonna win. When somebody makes a powerful OC that I know is gonna win every single battle, it makes me predict every single moment that's gonna happen in the story. And that can make it slightly distasteful and boring to me. But over the years where I've been developing an OC lore and I've been developing on writing, I've noticed that it's not the powerful OC trope that's getting to you, it's how that powerful OC is written. I don't want to sound like a nerd here. I don't want to sound like a geek and some freaking anime weeboo. I think a good example of this trope is an anime called Mob Psycho. This character right here is extremely powerful and wins every fight, and you're gonna know it. But what makes it a good and very enjoyable watch is how the character is written. Sure, they're strong physically and can beat anybody up, but they struggle mentally. They struggle with mental health. They struggle with insecurities. They struggle with stuff I struggle with. Sure, I can't punch a hole through 16 walls with my bare fist and knuckle, but I struggle with myself. I struggle with my identity. I struggle with who I am. And when I see characters going through the same thing, regardless of how powerful they are, the story is really what matters and not how powerful and how over strong this character is. You know? I think people blur the lines of media they've already watched and didn't enjoy with how OCs are supposed to be. Regardless if you don't like a certain media or a certain trope or a certain romance that OCs will likely get caught up into, it doesn't mean that that trope is boring. It doesn't mean that that trope is not good. It doesn't mean that that trope will never be successful, because a lot of the times when people hate on these certain types of things with OCs, those are usually the most popular. They're popular for a reason, man. Trust me. And I think people get just so caught up in what they don't like, they don't realize a majority probably likes it. They just think that their opinion is objectively right and will always be. Yes, you don't like that certain OC trope. Doesn't mean that the rest of the globe doesn't too. And I think this has been a problem in the art community, not just with this topic alone. We don't understand the difference between our opinions and fact. I see so many people complain about so many things in the art community that are just your opinion. They're not fact, you know? Yeah, sure, some opinions are right, but most of the time in the art community, they're just your opinion. You're not wrong for having it, of course, but everybody who disagrees with you also isn't wrong either. And I kind of feel like you need to understand that, man. But honestly, genuinely, I love OCs. I love so many different tropes. There are some that I'm not particularly fond of, and that's my opinion. You're not boring, you're not dumb, you're not stupid for having those stories that I don't like. And if your story is so much different from mine, it won't mean that I don't like it. For example, I talk with my friends a lot about OC lore because they have their own OCs, I have my own. We like to just share stories about them. One of my friends, he has a vastly different world than I do. I'm more into sci-fi, I'm more into aliens, I'm more into delving into worlds that we haven't explored here on Earth. He's more into delving into stories from past generations here on Earth. more monsters, more mystery. Definitely stuff that I don't have in my story. But it doesn't make his any less unique. And to be honest, his story that is based here on Earth, I feel like is more unique than mine. Just something I love about OCs, the uniqueness, the passion that you can see, the different stories, the different things that are based off of stuff in the real world or not, that just come to people's minds. Just OCs are amazing in general. And I wish the art community could just see that instead of seeing through these filmed glasses of what they like and what nobody else could possibly like. They should just realize, okay, this person has OC lore that I don't like, and that's fine. Doesn't make them boring, doesn't make them useless at writing, doesn't make them any less of what I write. It's just a different genre, and I'm not here for it, but they can do whatever they want to do. I've been definitely seeing a lot of counter videos to these types of opinions where people are talking about, hey, just shut up. Like, people can have their OCs and they can be fine, and you can be fine too if you just leave it alone. And I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for people finally just realizing, okay, we're going too far. There's a difference between giving these opinions your critique and giving the reasons why you don't necessarily like these types of stories, and then just fully hating them. That's really all I have to say for this video. I'm trying to make time to record and things like that. I understand this video will be coming out a little bit late. Trust me, I'm trying. School and everything is just getting to be a little too much, but I really do like making YouTube videos. I really love this little community I've already built, which is insane, the fact I already have 1,000 subscribers already. Yeah, holy mackerel. And I've already made so many moods on here that are so cool, and I literally cannot thank you guys enough for the support I've already gotten on this channel. And you know, speaking of OCs, maybe I'll make a video talking about them sometime on this channel, because as much as I do like talking about the flaws of the art community and calling it out, I don't like talking about negative stuff all the time, and I want to get into more silly things. So, you know, that video might be coming. Just let me know if you want a video like that. But yeah, again, that's really all I have to say for this video. Hope you enjoyed.